one of the big things that happened, of course, was that the Turning Points USA America Fest happened, and Ben Shapiro came out and like laid it on pretty thick, attacking Candace Owens. And so the response around, I mean, one need only go to fucking Bendover's channel to see this. Flame War at Amfest is the title of his thing, but it has this Ben Shapiro brawls with Tucker live on TPUSA stage, whatever. And they both got little boxing gloves, which is adorable. And then there's the stern-faced Erica Kirk and the screaming, angry black lady that is Candace Owens. But there's a bunch of this, well, here's Tucker Carlson's remarks, but this, Candace Owens says Ben Shapiro involved in killing Charlie Kirk. That's So anyways, this is getting good across the board. But let's jump in. Let's see what he says about Shapiro. This is
Iran. Hey, Saki.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Turning Point is known for the sparklers that they have on stage.
I beg your pardon. None of my followers are on that stage. That's fucking disgusting. Sparklers. You mean fireworks?
But a literal flame war happened live and the
See what he did there?
first night of America Fest.
Guys, I'm here. I'm backstage with my phone. My wife's downstairs crying because every SAS, according to Milo,
between Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro. Now, booking both of them live on the stage back to back is an aggressive move, and the two men decided to take out their battles ideologically against each other. I mean, damn it, just have the debate is what I would say. Just have them both on stage at the same time. Trick them, whatever you need to do. Just like, tell them.
Yeah, that's how it should operate. Yeah, so let me get this straight. The conservatives should take two of their biggest influencers and lie to them to get them on stage to argue about how many Jews were involved in the death of Charlie Kirk. That's where you guys are now? Good luck!
At the same time, don't tell them they're debating. Have two podiums come up. The two went flames on against each other.
And if anybody knows,
Ben Shapiro was first. Ben Shapiro went after Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, sort of in a
they called them grifters.
Back-to-back sequence in his speech, and then Tucker Carlson went right at Ben Shapiro. And so here we go. Here's Ben Shapiro.
Hey, asshole. Both of these people are on your side, allegedly, and you're not going to take a side over what the fuck's going on here? You're going to be that big of a coward about this shit? Like, one of them is accusing, every Jew involved in Turning Points USA and the staff there of fucking murdering Charlie Kirk. And the other one is telling them to go pound sand. And you're like, I don't know, I could flip a coin.
First off, going after Candace Owens.
We must not let fear of audience deter us from telling the truth. We must not let fear of other hosts deter us from telling the truth. So, for example, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk
Yeah, the problem is I don't know if they're clapping for Candace Owens or they're clapping for him dunking on her. It's hard to tell because they have no clear moral structure.
So, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk casting aspersions at TPUSA and the people who work here, who worked with Charlie every single day, his best friends, to cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer and, yes, at Erica Kirk, and to imply or outright claim complicity in a cover-up over Charlie's murder, to spew absolutely baseless trash implicating everyone from French intelligence to Mossad to members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder, then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name.
Really? Are we supposed to? Are we clapping for that, or are we clapping against that? I don't really. Oh, I'd go on Jubilee, but they couldn't find enough people to be willing to contradict me. Or they'd have. I would want to be the only mixed match Jubilee, half conservative, half lefties. Right? I mean, how easy is it to just dunk on a bunch of people who have the opposite side of what you believe, either by getting outraged or yelling about? But I'll do both groups. That would be awesome.
Erica Kirk and TPUSA never should have been put in the position to have to defend themselves against such specious and evil attacks, particularly in a time of mourning. And the people who refuse to condemn Candace's truly vicious attacks, and some of them are speaking here, are guilty of cowardice. Yes, cowardice.
Damn, look out, son. Shazam. Yeah, I agree with Ben. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty cut and dry. It's fairly obvious. Is it wrong that I mean, all these people are assholes. So I like watching them fight amongst each other. I'm like, huh. I do feel bad about, like, I know people don't think Erica Kirk is honest in her grievance and whatever and blah, blah, blah. In her grieving, I personally don't find a need to draw a line like that on somebody else's life, ever. You're never going to get called onto the carpet for being too giving to someone who just lost a family member after they were murdered. You know what I mean? Like, you really think she minded? Like, it's a weird like point to take as like examples of you being a deep thinker. Yeah, I would rather be the person who respects someone's room to grieve, and then if they end up going to jail later, we can discuss it then if they helped and participated in it. But
The fact that they have said nothing while Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense into the public square for years is just as cowardly.
Yeah, but that includes the time she worked for you, dickhead. What, she wasn't vomiting conspiratorial garbage while she was working for you? Of course she was.
Obviously, the crowd loved that. Candace has been a major agitator against Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk, and the team that runs the organization. Obviously, and we've obviously seen that. We've obviously noticed that we obviously have seen that. Now, I'm not going to say whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I am specifically the coward that he was discussing. There was a summit this week between them. I think a lot of lawyers got involved.
No, there wasn't a lot of lawyers involved. One lawyer called in while she was there. Did you not? You watched what she said. Shut the fuck up. Well, actually, I take it back. He probably just does not have the intellectual capacity to understand what was said.
And Candace has decided to take a step back after that.
No, she hasn't. No, she did not. I played a clip right afterwards where she was on Piers Morgan. Let's step back. Get the fuck out of here. She went on Piers Morgan and went, I saw nothing that would lead me to believe that Tyler Robinson is the killer. Jesus.
Shapiro also, though, went after Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. Here we go.
But even if it were true that other public figures were our best friends, our very best friends, that does not relieve us of our duty to speak out of principle and not to cover up evil or shy away from addressing it out of friendship.
Uh-oh.
So no, Tucker Carlson, it is not an excuse to go silent on Candace's targeting of TPUSA.
Oh, damn, sister, what's happening? Like, literally, the crowd is, they're doing a lot of this, like, oh, shit. This is the side that allegedly won in a landslide, you'll recall, last year. All 7 swing states, total ran the table, right? Everybody loves what they want to do, right? That didn't last long.
Or to mirror her bullshit lines of questioning because you love Candace personally. The same
Damn. Shots fired.
is true of Megyn Kelly, a person I consider a friend,
Well, not for long.
characterizing Candace as a young mother and thus shying away from condemning her actions or fibbing about them. That is a non-starter. Meghan Markle is a young mother. Ilhan Omar is a young mother. That doesn't matter. And when Megyn said this week, quote, "My goal and my job here is to try to understand, yes, where Candace is coming from on this," and says she sees no purpose in inserting herself, quote, "into this on one side," that is a moral and logical absurdity. There is only one moral side here, Erica Kirk's side.
This is going very well.
You know, the side of the widow with 2 children, whose husband was shot live on camera in front of all of us. Friendship with the person accusing TPUSA of a cover-up of Charlie's murder is no excuse for cowardice.
Okay, so everybody said, whoa, that is extremely aggressive, and
Is that what they said? When were they saying this? Just in the next bathroom stall? Where the fuck are you, you weirdo?
goodness, like calling him out by name is really something else. And
Yeah, it's especially since one was a former employee and the other one was probably offered a contract at the Daily Wire.
Ben's not making any friends there, and maybe this is
Yeah, he is. I think probably everyone at TPUSA, certainly Erica.
why Charlie didn't have Ben Shapiro keynote for the last couple of America Fests. But anyway, we fast forward to Tucker Carlson, who was, I think, like just a few minutes afterwards. I think there might have been a speaker in between, but Tucker Carlson closed out.
You wouldn't know. You didn't check. You didn't see. Might be an important detail. If it isn't, then why bring it up?
The night and
What a dweeb.
began with a commentary about how, like, wait a second, how are you trying to use Charlie Kirk's platform to deplatform people and attack people? Charlie was about unity and bringing people together and open debate, and you are trying to close things down.
Yeah, but conspiratorial thinking is where he's coming from. He's not trying to shut down debate over whether or not assassination is good or whether or not you should participate in it. He's shutting down the conspiratorial talk about his friend and the head of the organization on which the stage they're standing on.
Tucker.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God. It's like these guys are all fucking dweebs. Seriously, I don't know where this fucking alpha male lie comes from the right. I don't get it. These are the dweebiest, nepo baby, second generation rich kid shitheads ever. These guys make Tucker Carlson sound like they make Ted Cruz sound like a baritone. Look at this fucking weasel. Never had to work a day in his fucking life. Just bought property in Qatar. The country that is the hinge point for all terrorist payments throughout the Middle East right now. The money laundering capital of the Levant. And that's saying a lot considering Cyprus is in there. He just bought fucking property there. Yep. Went over to Russia, kissed Putin's ass, went around and went to like 2 Moscow nightclubs, one train stop, a state-picked grocery store, and an interview inside the Kremlin, and thought, oh my God, this fucking country's banging. How is he any different than these like YouTube influencers that go over to China and are like, they're 100 years ahead of us? Fucking hell.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Whoa. Thank you. Walking out is always such a trip at these things. I just got here, and I feel like I missed the first part of the program. Hope I didn't miss anything meaningful. But I just want to say, I don't think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it. I laughed. That kind of bitter, sardonic laugh that emerges from you when, like, Upside Down World arrives. When your dog starts doing your taxes and you're like, wait, it's not supposed to work this way. To hear calls for, like, deplatforming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event, I'm like, what? This is hilarious.
No, it's not hilarious. Nick Fuentes isn't even allowed on the premises. Shut the fuck up. I don't think he should, but he's clearly in your camp, and you clearly agree with him on more than you disagree, but he isn't, and he's got a bigger audience than 80% of the people that are on that stage, and you're not letting him talk. Why? Because you've deplatformed him, and you have denounced him, you dipshit. So the idea, like, he's always been run out of there. I mean, it was a huge, hold on. Let's see. What the hell? Why is that in that type? Hold on. Nick. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tucker. Fuck you. It's not an absolute. Everybody isn't fucking welcome. Turning Point USA isn't interested in debate or alternative views or a wide spectrum of thought or diversity of thinking, or they'd invite me to speak, but they'd be scared shitless to do that. Stupid. Because I would remind them that all the red states hang on the tit of the blue states. That these big cities they shit on, where all the crime is also where all the coffee, sex, cinema, like shopping and industry is. That the reason Trump got, 8,000 districts or something is because most of them don't have any fucking people in them. The counties in this country. That states like North Dakota and South Dakota have fewer people in them than suburbs of Cincinnati, and yet they have 2 fucking senators on the federal level. If you were really small government conservatives, why does your state have a governor? You got less than 1 million people in your state? There are mayors who can handle the job. There's no such thing as a small government conservative. Every red state leader, every red state Republican lives off of the tit of a blue state. So no, you don't believe in broad debate or wide, a wide expanse of political thought. Of course you deplatform and shun people, you shithead. And you shouldn't have to. It's their fucking event. They can turn people away if they want to. It's a private organization. At Turning Point USA's The People Convention, on June 14th in Detroit, security officers removed Nick Fuentes, the self-avowed anti-Semite and Holocaust-denying podcaster. In videos on social media of the encounter wearing sunglasses, Fuentes walked towards the building's exit as a group gathered around him with people holding up phones to film the encounter. A bearded security guard ordered him to leave as the crowd booed. The fucking people at TPUSA were booing. Were they booing because he was being told to leave? Or were they booing because they wanted him to leave? Maybe you should ask. How about a little fucking round table about that, asshole? When a second security guard identified later in the video as Brian enters. Brian? What? I mean, come on. Enters, a follower demands to know what Fuentes did to get the boot. Fuentes said they didn't give a reason. He turned to the crowd and said it was because Israel controls this event. The group cheered. He then stated, "This is America first, not Israel first." The guard guided Fuentes out of the building as the crowd chanted, "America first, America first." They were booing because he was being asked to leave. So no, Tucker, it's not weird that people are being deplatformed or told to fuck off, even when the majority of the people that are at that event agree with them.
Forming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event. I'm like, what? This is hilarious. Yeah, this is hilarious. Actually, one of the clips, I was listening to myself, thinking as I often do when I hear myself speak, which is never, because I never watch myself, but at these events they always
Yeah, he probably has a weak stomach.
play like the role of you. And I'm like, that guy is pompous. Woo! Sorry about that. We don't see ourselves clearly. But the prediction that, you know, at some point when Republicans took power again, which I did everything I could, you know, to help. And really felt that was important. I still think, you know, I was right. But I really thought that the impulse to deplatform people, or even to use the word platform as a verb, which it's not, it's a noun, don't steal my nouns, deplatform and denounce.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. Nobody cares.
Why haven't you denounced somebody else? The whole like Red Guard Cultural Revolution thing that we so hated and feared on the left. That
Wait a minute. Fuck you, asshole. Like, people can call you out. The fuck are you talking about? This isn't about fucking conservative values. This is about you chasing a conspiracy theory about somebody who was just fucking killed and then going and speaking at an event run by his fucking wife, where you apparently side with the person that thinks she participated in it. It isn't about whether they should denounce and shun you. It's why are you on that fucking stage if you think the woman who's now running the organization was a participant in his fucking murder? Why would you show up? If he was allegedly your friend, you piece of shit. It isn't even about at this point whether somebody would ask you to leave or denounce you. It's who the fuck would show up in a situation like that? Sorry, you think it's okay to back someone who, in the case of Candace Owens, or agree with her that more than likely the head of the organization who you are speaking at killed the last head of the organization that she happened to be married to, with the help of the Mossad and the fucking French intelligence and the CIA or some shit. The question at that point, honestly, this is a distraction. The question is not whether people are asking you to leave or calling you out on your bullshit. The question is that if you had any ethics, any morals, and you actually believed what you were fucking saying, why you would set foot on that fucking stage. And if you don't walk off at the end going, this is the last time I'm speaking at this place, but you guys need to know the truth, thump, is the only way you could excuse it.
we did everything we could to usher in a new time where you could have an actual debate. I mean, this kind of was the whole point of Charlie Kirk's public life.
This isn't a debate, you dumb motherfucker. There's a trial going on. There's somebody been arrested for this. And you don't have to believe it, but the fact that you're debating it when it was your own friend who was killed, allegedly your friend, and your fallback again is that it wasn't just that the story doesn't fit or something else hinky is going on, but that your own side that you helped get elected is a participant in it. Because don't forget, not only is Erica Kirk allegedly involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, but so is Kash Patel. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are active participants in the murder of Charlie Kirk, according to Candace Owens, who you are siding with in this argument. This isn't about debate. This is about like fantasy and reality, and the fact that if you believe what you're saying, if you really believed it, you'd bug the fuck out. You'd go, I'm not going back to that place. Fucking weasel.
Life. And I think that he died for it. I really believe that. And I know a lot
Yeah, but you apparently also believe that his wife killed him over it.
About it because the last several months of Charlie's life were devoted in part to arguing about this event, in fact, this speech, in fact, my speech here, which he asked me to do earlier this year, this summer, and was immediately put under just immense pressure from people who give money to Turning Point. I would assume good people, but who wanted him to take me off the roster. And this has all become public, and the whole thing is so sad that I never talk about it, except to say...
Never talk about it. Except, what, 9 episodes of the last 12 of his podcast? Never talk about it. The fuck?
Charlie stood firm in...
By the way, I'm enjoying this. I don't know if you know this. Really. Fuck these people. And they deserve each other. And they're all awful. And the only one I have any sympathy for, because it is my inclination to be this way, is Erica Kirk and the death of her husband, who I would have rather argued with while he was alive than watch him die. Period. That's it. End of goddamn discussion. Because I don't support the death penalty, and I certainly don't support it without a trial of any sort, in any circumstance, ever. Not because of how other people are, but because how I am. Because that's what your ethics and your morals are about. They're about who you are, not who you can show yourself to be.
His often stated and deeply held belief that people should be able to debate, and that if...
What are you debating? What are you debating? This isn't a debate. Are you going to debate about whether assassination is good or bad? The FBI is run by your buddies. The person who shot him has allegedly been caught. And your argument is that he either had help, was a patsy, or was, I guess, never a part of it ever, and Erica Kirk was. Where's the debate? Conspiracy versus reality? The case that's going on versus what you think in your head, or what sounds fucking hinky, or the fact that the organization on the stage you're standing on actually has people working for it right fucking now that Candace Owens alleged helped kill, if not directly killed, Charlie Kirk themselves. What the shit?
You have something valid to say. If you're telling the truth, you ought to be able to explain it calmly and in detail to people who don't agree with you, and that you shouldn't immediately resort to shut up racist.
Yeah, he didn't call you a racist. He called you a grifter. And by the way, one of the things that a lot of grifters say is that you're just accusing me of being a racist so that you can get the moral upper hand, regardless of the fact that my, actions might be racist.
Honestly, it seems like both men got really good applause lines, and...
Jesus Christ, that's the currency? That's what matters to you. Both of them got applause lines. Do you have any fucking standards?
They had their own supporters in the crowd, kind of mixed bag. They both got adversarial questions afterwards. And so, again, it seems like perhaps like Charlie's vision of having a robust debate about the future of the movement is alive and well.
Oh my God. They weren't arguing about the future of the movement or conservative economic policy or the fucking national debt. God damn. You weasel. They're talking about whether or not the person on trial for killing him actually did it, or his wife did it, who's currently running the organization that put them on stage that night. Jesus.
But I just, from my perspective,
suck. You just suck.
Just wish the two guys would have just had it out and debated, right? Just have Candace and Erica on stage, have Candace and Tim Pool on stage, have RFK and Ronald McDonald on stage. Just do the debate. Like, turn it into a debate. Turn it into a debate. I mean,
it's not a debate, dumbass. That's like saying, like, Alex Jones and Fauci debating. One of them would be talking about, like, getting people vaccinated, having a healthy America, and the other one would go, they're trying to put chips in people. Like, that's not a debate. That's a bar argument that's a waste of everybody's fucking time. This is like when CNN, like we want a balanced conversation. So we have someone who thinks that there should be a museum of remembrance for the Holocaust, and for counterpoint, instead of bringing in somebody who thinks we don't need a museum for remembrance, it would be better as a holiday or some other thing. They bring in somebody who doesn't believe the Holocaust ever happened.
They're both there. They both have their private jets, and they're both there. Maybe they saw each other at the airport. Like, Mazel Tov, like frickin' debate, you know?
No, I don't know. No, they're not debating. There's no debate point. One of them believes Erica Kirk helped murder her husband, and the other one believes that people who say that are full of shit, are selling something, and are morally vacuous. And they're all on the same side.
Or Molotov cocktails. Like, keep the flame war. Do the flame war in person. That's my opinion.
You're an idiot.
Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section.
We pretty much unanimously think you're a dipshit. And by the way, an amoral dipshit. Fucking hell. So, let's see. So, Bendover just said that, after the summit, that Candace Owens dialed it back. She pulled it back a little bit. She started quieting down a little, right? Well, let's check in with Dimshit over at Dimcast. And the title of this video is Candace Owens says Ben Shapiro involved in killing Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that sounds like she's dialing it back. That's just... Candace Owens says Ben Shapiro involved in killing Charlie Kirk.
So Candace Owens is now claiming Ben Shapiro killed Charlie Kirk. And
Beanie Shapiro, is that what we're calling him, Bina? All right.
And before any one of her conspiratards come out and say, well, she never said that, she tweeted, every time Ben speaks, I feel more certain Israel is involved in 9/10Z. He's just way too invested in Charlie's murder. He never liked Charlie, and he's now suddenly pretending he had a duty to defend his legacy. Ben only cares about Israel's interests, so Israel is involved.
Yeah, why can't we have that debate? Who do you want to be the Dem presidential nominee in 2028? Besides me? I mean, I think the ticket that has the best shot is Newsom Kelly or Kelly Newsom.
So Israel is involved. Okay. The implication, the message sent to her followers is that Ben knows Israel was involved in his murder, which means Israel helped facilitate his murder. What does it mean to be involved? And Ben is well aware that they did. The implication, of course, being that Ben is part of the conspiracy to murder Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that sounds like she dialed it down, right? Yeah? Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
I'm not playing these stupid games. Candace knows exactly what she's doing when she talks like she's retarded and says these things with all vague innuendo that can only lead to one conclusion. And that's why...
Yeah, that's the coward's way of implying something. It is what I call allowing for the inference thereof. It's a very common technique where you don't imply something directly. You just ask the question, but you ask it in a way that leads the person to the answer and goes, well, I mean, if you really think about it, what conclusion can you draw, I
want to give Megyn Kelly a bit of respect because I do think she is smart and does a good job. But on this one thing, I'm going to criticize you, Megyn. When Ben pointed out that Megyn was implying Erica Kirk killed Charlie or was involved in that, she did. She did. But she plays this game where she's going to come out and go, I never said that. Holy. You know what, guys? I'm going to be honest with you. I am glad that I did not go to AmFest. To see Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson.
Oh, wait, is this where we find out Tim wasn't invited? Like, he doesn't chart? with that crowd. Like nobody wants to see him come out in his fucking beanie and his skate wear.
Carlson going at each other on stage. I'm so over this.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm totally not enjoying every second of it.
Candace, yes, she's an evil person. This has gone beyond psychotic. It is what it is. I like Tucker. Tucker's allowed to have different opinions than me, same as many of these lefties that I know. And I think Ben was wrong to criticize.
No. You don't get to hold on. You don't get to saddle the lefties, whoever the fuck they are, with the scumassery of Tucker Carlson and his fake demon attack to cover the scratches on his sides and his shoulder, which are interestingly exactly where scratches would be if a grown man with gnarly fingernails were to grab you by the waist or put one hand on your shoulder. And then he comes back to the house with scratches like that. That's how he just... Hold on. Shall we... do you guys remember that? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Tucker Carlson demon attack.
You think you were attacked?
Yeah, here we go. This is he did it from this is good because it got Megyn Kelly in it too. This is here you go.
You think you were attacked by a demon. And I have to tell you, like, a lot of people mock this, they roll their eyes, but I look at, like, what happened to Charlie, what happened in the wake of Charlie, what happened at the Ascension School in Minneapolis, where that man went in there and shot a bunch of little children praying at their church school. And
at their church school. Also, didn't go in there, shot through the windows from the outside. I mean, it's kind of important, but it's an important detail. Also, doesn't require demons, horns, tails, sulfur, smoke, goat legs. It's just a person doing something evil.
I challenge anyone to tell me there aren't demons among us.
Well, are the demons in the room with us right now, Megan? Are they? Are they also wearing a red dress? Are they?
Well, I never thought there were. I thought the whole thing was like bizarre.
Yes, thank you. Light applause for demons. Golf clap for demons. Let's little golf clap for the devil, everyone. Little golf clap for the devil. Listen to that one.
Among us.
Well, I never thought there were. I thought the whole thing was like bizarre.
So what happened?
Because
Yeah, what happened?
culturally, I'm just not from a world where people are attacked by demons. And in fact, when it happened the next morning, when I saw the blood on my sheets, I was
like, that must have been quite an evening.
like, I actually called someone who works for me who's a very sincere, lifelong evangelical, and I'm like, have you ever heard of this? And she's like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. And I was like, what? Not to Episcopalians, it doesn't.
Stuff it down.
Yeah, no, it was well, yeah, I mean, I'm not embarrassed at all, and I don't care if I'm mocked. Don't get anything out of making this up, and I'm not making it
But
up.
what happened?
Yeah,
I
you kind
had
of...
this crazy...
Also, yeah, you kind of do get stuff out of making it up. All evangelical grifters make like headway with that community and make money making up stories about demonic possession attacks or excusing their behavior based on the idea that a demon took them over. When the simplest possible explanation might be
It's fun to be Let's party like we're moving Buns and dongs and vests and thongs Whoa, I love that feeling Zipper hoods have got the goods Owie, owie, oh Buns and dongs and vests and thongs Whoa, I love that feeling Zipper hoods have got the goods Owie, owie, oh Boink, boink, doobie-doo You know what I wanna do Yay! Boink, boink, doobie-doo You know what I wanna do Bust up
So, I mean, it's another explanation. I'm not saying it's the answer. How would we know? It does seem like the most logical And, you know, it's one of those things where if you're on our side of the aisle, it's nothing to be ashamed of. So you don't have to make up a fucking story to tell your wife that you were attacked by a demon when you're, hypothetically, when your scratches on your side and your shoulder came from a dude at a truck stop. It's just you being you, boo.
The experience where I was in the truck with someone coming back from quail hunting.
Oh, shit. You know, you can only, you know, Tucker, one thing I've never told you about when I go quail hunting, it's exciting. You know what I mean? You're out there quail hunting and you're like, oh, just, oh, you know? You know what I mean? Oh, and you just get the, you dropped your duck call over there.
And I had all of a sudden this, we were talking about someone I despise. And all of a sudden I had this crazy empathy for the person, like really intense empathy, like I could understand why this person was doing these horrible things. And I said to the person in the truck, this is a family dispute, right? So I said to the person, maybe my brother, and I said, I think I know what's happening here. This person feels this way, that way, this way. And my brother goes, how did you know that? I said, I don't know. It just like, and my brother goes, I think like God is like,
are you getting like empathy or something? Should we pull over?
Speaking through you or something. And I felt
God is speaking through you. You've never said anything even bordering on forgiving before.
total, true empathy for this person I truly hate. It was like the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. I have no idea where it came from. My brother's like, I think that's from God. Like, there's no way you could. I was like, wow, that's kind of wild. So then I get home. We have this huge dinner party, which we always have dinner parties.
Always. Yeah, yeah. You know, poppers.
And I forget about it. And I'm telling you this because they're twinned. The one leads to the other. I had this profound
I'd hoped so, because the first story is really boring and easy to figure out. And then the next one is just hinky.
experience with God, like profound and beautiful and unexpected. And then I go to bed with my wife and 4 dogs who sleep in the bed. My wife's had 4 children.
Yeah, you could also never get scratches on your body from dogs in the bed. That never happens, ever.
My dogs are hunting dogs. All 5 of them wake up like that. Like they are, we have no home invaders in my house. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I check and I couldn't breathe at all. My throat was closed. It wasn't like
It's called sleep apnea. Yeah, a lot of people experience that. And so the best thing you can do when that happens is to, in your underwear, run out, get in your truck, and drive to the nearest truck stop and drink a half a pint of Jim Beam. I've just heard this. This is from Tucker's cookbook.
I was apnea. I was strong as I couldn't breathe. So I get up. I stand in the doorway of our bedroom, and I'm like, wow, I'm dying. I could feel myself starting to gray out. And then
Gray out.
And I started walking in the backyard, and then it slowly came.
Sorry, wait a second. So your wife, you didn't wake your wife? You can't breathe, and you just, I don't want to. Is she that grumpy? So sorry, you can't breathe. You're graying out, but you never. The dogs have left, are running around, are barking and shitting, but she's still asleep. Did you check for a second that maybe there was carbon dioxide in the house and your wife had already passed out? You self-involved piece of shit.
Back, like my throat kind of opened up a little bit. I was like really weirded out. I walk back in, and my wife wakes up. She goes, "What is going on?" I said, "I don't know."
I don't know. I was just left for a little while you were asleep and came back at 2:30 in the morning.
I can't breathe. I feel better now, and all of a sudden I had this horrible pain underneath my arms, like on the side of my chest, like bad. I thought I'd been like ripped with a knife or something. It just was very intense. So I go into the bathroom, I flip on the light, and I have claw marks on both sides.
Like, so let's say if someone was behind me, I'm standing like this. Let's say I'm just spitballing. So I'm leaning over like a sink, and somebody is behind me, hypothetically, hands on my rib cage, and they're in a motion somehow. Something is pulling against my rib cage like that, and then they also put a hand on the shoulder. Perhaps I'm just saying that maybe that's one of the ways that scratches could occur in those two particular. Did you check your knees? Right.
On right and left side on my ribs.
Well, all demons are symmetrical. We know this.
And they're bleeding. And they're literally claw marks. Four.
They're literally not.
On either side. I put my finger.
That's what it. Yeah, demons have 5 claws. You wouldn't have 4 claw marks. That's a fucking. That was, you obviously got fucked by a bear. That was just bear sex. I see. Okay, yeah, because demons have thumbs too. So you would have these claw marks, but you'd also have the positioning thumb, so that it could get a better angle on your poop shoot. Sorry. Oh no.
Don't fit my fingers, and I sleep on my side. So how could? And by the way, no one woke up, so I show my wife.
You were in the yard for an unclear amount of time after a dinner party. Was everybody else gone? Except the dudes that... All right.
And she's like, oh my gosh. And then I have this like crazy intense desire to read the Bible. So I read the...
Where's the Bible? Where's the part about... Why are you going to Leviticus about man lies with another man? No reason. Go back to bed. Oh man, should I lie? All right.
Bible, and I pass out in like 2 minutes, and I wake up the next morning.
Really? You were bored by the Bible? Pitiful.
And I thought, man, did I have a wild dream? And then I see blood in my sheets, and I go in the bathroom, and I have these bloody marks. And my wife goes, I think you were attacked by some supernatural being. And I would...
Yeah, that's what I would have said. Yeah, that's a me. It's amazing how they all immediately go, I think, yeah, must have been, sure, honey, whatever you say. God damn. Occam's razor. I wake up, I thought I was blood all this shit. I think you were attacked by a supernatural demon. Or maybe you have a fungus and you were scratching your own sides in the middle of the night. Yeah. It was a unicorn, 100%. That's why you're bleeding from your butthole. It got you right with the horn.
I was like trying to be logical about it. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Logically. I mean, what else explains it? 5 dogs in the bed, nothing could scratch you.
It definitely was. And then I called one of my producers who's like, oh, yeah, well, that's pretty common. I was like, what? And I've had a couple other experiences.
It's not common. It is not common. Even amongst evangelicals and Baptists who believe in this stuff, it's not common.
Is not that crazy, but where you really feel God's presence, which is marked by peace and true empathy.
And then as soon as you get a whiff of that, the devil's right there with his evil schlong.
Love for other people, which doesn't come naturally to me. I'm kind of
clearly
a dick, obviously. But you know it when God is acting through you. And
no, you don't. No, you don't. All it did, it occurred to you that there might be another angle in this apocryphal bullshit family story, by the way. A family story. It was a family dispute. You were giving a family member who was being an asshole the benefit of the doubt in something. This is not like you picked some sort of stranger. This wasn't an epiphany about Ilhan Omar.
And they're followed by some wild attack.
Yeah, immediately. As soon as you do anything nice. That's why I don't do it. That's why I stay a prick. It's the only safe. Yeah. It's the only. Ruben says $500 says he's lying. I think that's how much it cost him.
Why? I've had a couple things. It's just like, well, anyway, I'm not an expert on this. I'm hardly a theologian. Of course, I would never pretend to be an expert on anything. I can only say what happened to me. It was 100% real.
No, it wasn't. No, you don't even remember it happening. You have scratches and you're mistelling the story. And everybody in your family immediately jumped to, it couldn't possibly be that you were fucking your cousin who was, drunk on whiskey sours like the last time he was here. It couldn't possibly be that. You must have been attacked by a supernatural... Is that what we're saying, guys? Supernatural being? Yeah, yeah, totally. Logically.
And it completely changed my view of the world.
Well, what did you learn?
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. You're still the same asshole. It's like he was visited by the ghost of Christmas past and went, you know what? Fuck Tiny Tim. For real.
From your conversation with Lou Strobel, who wrote a book on the supernatural and who also wrote The Case for Christ. Many of you
Huh?
guys recommended that book to me, and it really was amazing. And Lee Strobel came on your show in September
Yes.
on his new book, which is about the supernatural.
Yes,
It's about
which was
miracles, it's about
amazing.
angels, it's about
And then you invite him to a dinner party, and he's sleeping on the couch, and then you wake up with weird scratches and strange fluids in your bed.
demons. It's a great read. But
It is. It's a great read. I mean, it's obviously horseshit, but
was there something in there that spoke to you?
Everything about it. I mean,
yeah, maybe it's the fact that you have a doughy, porous Swiss cheese fucking brain, and you were drinking when you read it, and you're so self-involved that you don't even keep track of who you're fucking around
I
with.
grew up in a church, I'll just admit it, with shame, in the Episcopal Church, where all the supernatural stuff was taken out. And at a certain stage in my life, I was like, why am I going to church? I love hanging in bed with my wife and dogs on Sunday morning. Like, why am I? And we were ties to church. Like, why am I doing this? There's nothing in here that's like, be nice to your neighbor. Okay. Like, if it's not supernatural, then what's the point?
Yeah, who wants to be nice to their neighbor? What kind of an asshole turn the other cheek? What kind of shit is this? Gay? Like that's what he's talking about. Like it you just mean it wasn't exciting because they weren't talking about demon possession. You're responsible for your own fucking behavior.
And when I read the Bible, it's like, it is about the supernatural.
Yeah,
like, that's
it
the
is.
whole story.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a great ending. Very shocking. Very surprising ending.
It's like God intervenes supernaturally, bigger than, above nature.
Right, that it's kind of part and parcel of the whole God thing. Except that part where he sends his son down to earth and his son has to intervene as a physical human being.
And that's why it's different from every other book. And the New Testament
Yes, they do love this vampire demon shit, clearly.
especially is filled with Jesus casting out demons. I literally didn't know that. I knew there was the, crazy guy in the cemetery who broke his chains, but I didn't really realize that not only was Jesus, but also the disciples were casting out demons that were possessing people and causing them to hurt themselves. And as someone who had, a drug and alcohol problem, like I know kind of that weird, I've seen it a lot in others also, that weird.
Mainly you've seen it in other people, right? Not in yourself. You had a drug and alcohol problem, but you had the good kind. Not the kind that poor people have, so.
Desire to harm yourself?
By the way, there's a reason they call it his demons. He's fighting his
It
demons.
is totally real because
Yes, he was fighting those demons. He just couldn't he just had to go back and dress up in a skirt and pretend to be a lot lizard at that truck stop about 16 blocks from house. He was just, the demons had a hold of him. And by demons, I mean truckers.
ultimately, evil, we always think of evil as like something that like diabolical people do to gain, like I'm screwing you, I'm killing you so I can take your gold.
Right, yeah, like Trump.
But what we never acknowledge is true, which is evil flows through people and destroys the people. Not just the victims, but also the person through whom it flows.
Yeah, I think we're pretty clear that bad behavior, evil behavior often does consume the person that's doing it. I mean, some people, don't get me wrong, like Don Jr., for example, enjoy it and are proud of their behavior in that regard. But other people, normal people, are often consumed by guilt. But some people call it. You might not be familiar with that concept, but it's a big one in human beings.
People who are possessed by evil are themselves destroyed every single time. And of course, I've lived a life, so I've seen a lot of that. And now, in retrospect, I understand what it was. And so much of what we experience is from outside of ourselves. We are acted upon constantly by the spiritual realm. And Lee Strobel just affirmed what I was beginning to realize.
Or, hear me out. And I know you probably wouldn't let me come to TPUSA and talk about this. Or, we are responsible for our own behavior. And regardless of our religious and spiritual beliefs, we have a responsibility to make restitution for the wrongs that we have done, not because of our souls will be consumed in a lake of fire afterwards, but because other people didn't deserve the shit we did to them. I don't know. It just popped into my head. Boy, I don't know. I think God's talking through me. I certainly hope a demon trucker didn't show up in the middle of the night.
Which is, we are the subject of massive supernatural influence all the time. And
yes, I would argue that your show is a great example of a man consumed on all sides by evil.
every other civilization
Yo sado numspa.
from the beginning of time has acknowledged this and written about it and left artifacts that point to that.
I'm sorry, Numsi. I'm sorry. Ki Dr. Hong, I'm sorry. Officer, arrest me. I should be purged. I should be flogged. I do not deserve to walk among good people. I have wronged my brother Numsi.
That belief, and only in the last 80 years have we just foreclosed that possibility, and we've embraced this, the dumbest religion ever created, scientism, which is like, oh, I can't measure that. It's not real. Oh, shut up.
You tell him. Man speaking to a microphone that was obviously a gift from God that just fell out of the fucking sky. Stupid science. Scientism. By the way, one of the big problems on the right now is this kind of bifurcation between the libertarian atheist movement and the religious right. And thank you for spotting what movie that was, Infinite Asylum. I do too, as well.
Yeah.
Right? That's like insane, actually. When you
No, it isn't. It's how everything works on the Earth plane.
say it out loud, but that is our state religion. It's mandated, by the way. If you don't
No, it isn't.
believe it, you can't serve in high office, you're mocked, you're literally disqualified from professions.
No, you're not. You need it to operate in the world. If you don't believe that, then you would be of such a religious bent that you would not run for earthly office anyways. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, stupid.
If you don't embrace
Which is the actual quote, I would like to say.
scientism, which is like the fakest thing ever invented, like I would always, like as a kid, study
It wasn't invented. You're made it up. There isn't scientism. That's not a thing. I mean, what he's talking about is skeptics.
these weird religions. I'm like, that's insane. Nothing is as insane as scientism.
Scientism isn't a thing.
And so once you discard it, and you're like, yeah, it's nice to measure things in a lab. Is that the sum total of truth? Obviously not. What is true? Then you realize, like, holy smokes, the spiritual battle is totally real. And
I can make up anything I want.
we are the subjects of it.
Yeah. And that's great because anytime I do something that gets me in deep shit with my wife, I can go, I don't know. I just met this guy. Obviously, a demon overtook me and gave me an erection.
That will lead us to UFOs.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, back to where we were with Dimpool saying how much he loves Tucker Carlson, right?
This has gone beyond psychotic. It is what it is. I like Tucker. Tucker's allowed to have different opinions than me, same as many of these lefties that I know. And I think Ben was wrong to criticize Tucker in the way that he did. But Ben is also allowed to have opinions that aren't the same as me. This is junk. All of this is nonsense junk. The space is devolving. It has devolved.
You do realize it's not changed at all, right? The space has not devolved. The right has not shifted. There's not been a schism. They were always going to reach this point. They were always this full of shit. They were always at this contradiction, but they buried the hatchet temporarily because they thought they had a common enemy. And they thought Donald Trump would be the savior of both their causes equally. And then he didn't do any of it. And he just feathered his own nest and patted his own fucking pockets and continued to be a creepy fraud. And then suddenly you guys are waking up to it, but it's, and the like hiding it from yourself and lying to yourself is the part you can't stop doing. So that's what this fighting is about. All this paranoid bullshit back and forth is a distraction from calling out Trump for being Jeffrey Epstein's fucking pedophile boyfriend for 25 fucking years. And you guys going, I can look at anything but that. I will dig around the death of my friend and pretend his wife had something to do with it and there was this great conspiracy beyond things. Just anything so that I don't have to look at the fact that Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's running buddy for a quarter century. For real.
I'm not interested in Candace's retardation psychobabble. If this is what the MAGA movement and the political movement on the right
always was,
becomes,
always was,
I am not interested, nor will I seek to in any way be involved with whatever any of that is.
I'm sure you'll be sorely missed. Well, you're definitely not going to get invited to TPUSA next year.
It's bad enough this country is split in half with...
It's not. It's not. The crust thinks it's the pizza, but the rest of the country actually gets along a lot better than people think. This is what happens when you live your life entirely on shitter.
Wacko leftists wanting to give kids sex changes, and now we have Candace, and she doesn't represent the right, I know, but...
Yeah, she does.
Now you've got this weird...
There's nothing weird about it. There's tons of people on the right that totally support her.
We're working on this card game.
Are you? Is Russia paying for this too? Is this how they're funneling money to you now? You want to start another product that you can sell because this fucking bullshit story you've been telling everybody is collapsing?
We're trying to figure out, is she left? Is she right? Is she establishment? It's like, she's something new because she has a bunch of women that are liberals who watch her, but she also has a bunch of...
Since when?
Weird conspiratard anti-Israel people who are so blind they...
You mean Tucker?
Can't see their own hands in front of their faces, but they live in this world. And I got to be honest, I think it's algorithmically generated in a lot of ways. There's no reason YouTube should be propping up Candace on the front page.
Well, she's getting the views.
More sane and rational voices do not prevail against...
Hey, tell me about it. You've got 1.8 million subscribers, and you've never said a thing worth listening to that you've stuck to, I guess, for more than a day. I guess even in your broken clock moments, you managed to break the clock in a new position. I got 87,000 subscribers. So you want to talk about who YouTube is deplatforming and lowering their viewer count, even though I've got, 16 million watch hours at this point? And my show hasn't been on nearly as long as the rest of these assholes? You think they're siding with some sort of left-wing agenda?
Candace feeding red meat to a bunch of retards. So I have no interest in playing games.
In not using the R word all the time?
Games, playing nice, whatever it is. But for now, on our final day of the year...
For now's meant to be you and me. Sorry. Every so often, and whenever somebody says for now, I think of the Enough's Enough song, which I love. I'm just saying.
I think there's good news coming at the start of next year. Working on some big projects. But
oh, yeah, huge.
I am just so wholly disgusted by this community.
Yeah, your friends and the people that you have been listening to for a long time. And
my crypto friends... We don't have any of this. We don't. I mean, maybe there's...
Well, you do have something, though. Hold on. That's not fair. Obviously, you have something in the crypto world. What is it? Let's see real quick. I just want to throw this in. Let's see. Oops. What's the current... Okay. Here's... Let me show you what... little Dim Pool and his buddies... and their Don Jr. fan club all have in common this. Legendary hedge fund analyst warns Bitcoin is headed towards a 1929 style crash. Analyst draws comparison between Dow Jones in 1929 and crypto index in 2025. Bitcoin, and the broader crypto market have been through the ebbs and flows typical of any market. Most market participants believe the current crypto crash that began in October this year is similar to the 2018 or the 2022-23 crashes. However, there is one analyst who believes the crypto market is headed towards a crash similar to Wall Street of 1929. Now, why would that be? Well, because Don Jr. and Eric Trump and Donald Trump decided to get into the crypto game. And part of how they did it was by investing a shit ton of money, other people's money, through themselves. And then, of course, getting everybody who was defrauding everybody in the crypto sphere and pardoning them. Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence and former chief strategist at the Lyford Fund, recently compared the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index in 2025 and the Dow to the Dow Jones Industrial Index in 1929 and wondered if we have already hit peak Bitcoin. Ultimately, Black Thursday struck when the New York Stock Exchange crashed on October 24th, 1929. It marked the beginning of the Wall Street crash of 1929, or the Great Crash of 1929. It wasn't that great. But what industry did you decided you were going to get into is going to be awesome, Tim? What was that industry again?
You know, my crypto friends.
Yeah, that your crypto friends. Yes. You know what you should do? You should take everything you make on your show, which is mazillions, including the Russian money that you were given for doing fake commentary videos that never were meant to see the light of day. And then you take that and put it all in crypto right now. Come on, shit or get off the pot. Like, live and let die. Let's do this.
We don't have any of this. We don't. I mean, maybe there's drama there. I don't see it. My poker buddies, my skateboard buddies, like, we don't deal with this level of retardation.
Well, because it's over poker, stupid. Somebody died. Of course there are going to be strong feelings around it. I don't understand this. All the other shit I do that doesn't really matter somehow is like not starting fights amongst people the way stuff that kind of should matter, like life and death.
And here we are now. Here we are now.
Here we are. Just the three of us.
So, yeah, Candace basically saying Ben killed Charlie. Sure. The funny thing about this post is
basically
it literally reads against herself, right? Let's replace Ben with Candace. Every time
he did this with the other tweet too, like he just swaps out the other. It's like this is his new rhetorical trick.
Candace speaks, I feel more certain she is involved in 9/10. She's just way too invested in Charlie's murder. She never liked Charlie, and she's now suddenly pretending to have a duty to defend his legacy. She only cares about her own interests, so she must be involved. See, the thing is,
that's so easy. Like the rubber ball glue system. It's rubber ball wins again, okay? Glue loses.
I will say this.
You're a glooser.
Again. And I love that Candace just won't say anything about it. Oh, she has no problem doing these weasel words like, I never employed the same security as Charlie. But let me just say a couple things.
Oh boy. Spill the tea.
Candace Owens absolutely was secured on more than one occasion by the same people.
Yummy.
That secured Charlie. I'm being very clear here. Because she's playing this game, she's like, I never employed them. Oh, right. Because your company did, or an associate did, or an organization did.
Yeah, like the Daily Wire hired the same people and she never hired them on her own. Why is that weird?
Get the point.
Yeah, I don't actually.
She has used the same security, and she might make the argument that she didn't pay them directly. But when you have event security that's catering both Charlie and Candace, she's lying. She's weasel words.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going. I don't know that this helps him at all.
Let me take a look at every time she speaks, I feel more certain that she's involved. Bro, she was going around telling people she hated Charlie Kirk. She hated him. I've seen the texts.
Have you? Why don't you show him then?
And I don't know.
What's the thing? Some dude, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Like at this point, fucking, I don't know. Somebody like it just, I think I'm gonna start a card game and do some skateboarding and stuff because this is the thing. I don't want to be part of the. This is.
I never want to force people. To
Oh, so that's why you've never been invited on Rusty Trombone Show.
say things that they aren't saying publicly. But it is what it is. There's a line. And I think these people should come out and say it, because these are high profile prominent conservatives, and I think for the most part they're just trying to avoid being in the fray of this. Nobody.
Well, if it's just her, who gives a shit? The problem you have is it's the audience, asshole. It's a huge audience. That's the problem. It isn't just her. It's the crowd she pulls. And the crowd Nick Fuentes is pulling. And the fact that there is a tremendous amount of overlap.
He wants to have Candace point conspirators in their direction, screaming in their face about how they're secretly controlled by the Zog, the Zionist-occupied government. But what Candace is doing, she goes.
What's she doing? By the way, I can't believe I'm getting bored with this drama, but I actually am. This is so lame.
On her show and says, you need to give me money for security because the Zionists want to kill me, because she knows that there are people who are really dumb who will give her money.
Right. I mean, that's your business model too, so.
I'm so
And?
uninterested in whatever this is.
Whatever. Like, I don't even care anymore. I mean, whatever. You know? Like, what is this? Like, I don't even know why. What do we even care about anymore? Like, what is America's first, third, who cares? You know what I mean? And like, what, who cares? If he killed, she killed, they killed him, if it's just, he's dead and does it matter? Can we just move on? That's the kind of ethical anchor you need.
Yo, I gotta be honest, I would rather be working in a steel mill.
Well, congratulations on your last show.
Or at the airport than be party to whatever these
two places where you're not actually qualified to do any job.
Degenerate scumbags are doing. Now,
says the guy who was paid by Russia to do fake videos that were never going to air just so that he could spout anti-Ukraine shit for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
As for Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson, no, I respect them. I do. Ben Shapiro denounces Tucker Carlson as conservative fraud at America Fest conference. Ben's wrong. He's completely wrong. I certainly think there's issues with Tucker that I would criticize him on, but like Megyn Kelly, simply criticizing a thing they did one time does not mean I
see, right. He's done fraudulent things, and he keeps doing those fraudulent things, but he's not a fraud. That's sort of a permanent state. He's like a broken fraud clock. He's fraudulent twice a day, every hour on the hour. But in the minutes in between, you know, when he's sleeping and not having sex with demons in the turlet,
have issues with their body of work, and they're certainly allowed to have the opinions that they do. I think Megyn Kelly has overall done a really fantastic job. She does a great job, and Tucker
fantastic job.
Carlson as well. Tucker Carlson has this thing where he's like pretending he doesn't know people he's interviewed. Like Tommy Robinson is a great example. I think Tommy's great. And Tucker was like, I don't even know who Tommy Robinson is. Like, who's that? And it's like, bro, didn't you interview him like 2 or 3 times? I don't know. So I don't know what that's all about. And
that's called being a fraud. I don't know why that meant. I don't know why that word just like popped into my head. But maybe the Lord is speaking through me. Now I'm afraid to stop at a truck stop and drop trow, which you should never be afraid to go to a truck stop and drop trow.
Megyn Kelly demurring or deferring to Candace Owens when Ben mentioned that she was saying Erica. He said, Ben Shapiro on stage says Candace Owens has said that Erica Kirk was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk or something like that. And Megyn Kelly was like, I don't listen, so I've not heard that. And it's like, dude, I don't care. Listen, here's another thing.
Dude, bro. Also tard, also bro. Bro. Just listen.
I don't care about. Candace Owens' audience is like largely female, and it's all drama bait, emotional stuff. And
yeah, you know, chicks.
She gets offended when I say that. I don't care. There's truth, there's reality, and I'm not interested in this stuff.
Well, then don't talk about it.
At least beyond this, I guess. This is like the straw on the camel's back. I got to be completely honest. Quote, Today, the conservative movement is in serious danger, not just from the left, that all too frequently excuses everything up to and including murder. The conservative movement is also in danger from charlatans who claim to speak in the name of principle but actually traffic in conspiracism and dishonesty, who offer nothing but bile and despair, who seek to undermine fundamental principles of conservatism by championing aggravation and grievance. These people are frauds and they're grifters, and they do not deserve your time.
I want the knife, please. I said, I want the knife.
While acknowledging that Carlson was also scheduled to speak at the conference later tonight, the Daily Wire co-founder said comments such as Carlson were guilty of cowardice, for staying silent as Owens spread conspiracy theories regarding Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk's assassination. The fact that they have said nothing while Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense to the public square for years is just as cowardly. What Candace represents is not the right or the moderate right or anything like that. She represents the crackpottery. Now, it's
the crackpotteria.
Are crackpots who overlap with these other communities, largely conservative, but
yes, a lot of conservative crackpots. That's right.
The people
That's right, Ali Osher. Absolutely.
At Turning Point, they wouldn't go there if they actually thought Candace was right about Turning Point killing Charlie Kirk. Candace is lying to these people because they eat it up, right? Find a group of people that hates another group of people.
Well, then don't defend her. Like, why would, again, this goes to why Tucker wouldn't go. I've already covered this. Like, why the fuck would Tucker go if he's defending what Candace Owens is saying when she's literally saying Erica Kirk participated in his death?
We'll blame them and say that
and that she took Jew money to do it.
Group of people is coming after me. Please give me money. Congratulations. You've got every grifter on the face of the planet throughout history. That's what Candace Owens is doing. All right. Our duty.
Good luck with that.
To provide.
He said duty.
You evidence means we actually have to do more than just ask questions, Spiro said. Just asking questions is something my 5-year-old does. And it's really cute when it comes from my 5-year-old, but when grown men and women spend their days just asking questions without, seeking answers, they are lying to you.
Oh, look, somebody's been listening to my show. Hi, Ben. I'm not going to apologize about the eyebrow jokes, mainly because they're more about Jesse Waters than they are about you. But
in fact, they're doing.
Also, your show looks like an asshole talking out loud in a Starbucks while reading shit off his laptop, and you're $1 million organization. Just I don't get it. Just it seems like you're code switching to suck up to the podcast crowd, acting like you're bootstrapping it, and when you're sitting on a set.
Something even worse.
Does Tim have pink eyeshadow on? No, I just think he's delicate.
They are seeding distrust in the world around you, and they are enervating you in the process. Indeed. I am not at all interested in any of this stupid.
It's weird because you've spent fucking how long? Like, besides every other day, you've got a 26-minute clip, just a clip from the show about this. And I'm ready to move on. I'm bored by his shit already. All right, one last thing. Yeah, this is the... Where is it? Here we go. So, again, look, I don't think Jimmy Dore is going to get invited to Timcast anytime soon either. Candace ends Piers Morgan. By the way, Piers Morgan still has a show. So, hasn't been ended. I'm just saying. I don't want you to get too excited.
And what I love about you and I sitting down is at this exact same time last year, you were doing the same weird questioning and making all these things when I said that they were committing a Holocaust against the Gazans, and then you changed your mind.
Actually, this time...
I'll see you next year when you change...
He did change his mind.
Well, that's because the battle went on past a certain point. In the beginning, it seemed like they were actually doing something, and then clearly Trump got in and let them off the chain. And the reason why last year Israel may have been more restrained is because the Biden administration was making them be more restrained. And then as soon as Trump had his meeting with Netanyahu and it was clear that he was elected, they just let loose. And that's why it's different this year than it was last year. There was, again, the only difference between the deal that Biden put forward and the deal that Trump allegedly already, eventually made was 10 more months of bombing. What were the details different about the return of hostages, the stages, the moving around refugees, Hamas dismantling and disarming? All the same. What was the difference? Trump let him bomb for 10 more months. He didn't change his mind. The circumstance changed.
100%. He was 100% wrong when she's exactly right. So Piers Morgan, the perennially wrong about everything until it becomes okay to be right about it.
Jimmy's, I guess, still smarting about not being invited on the show.
Is attacking Candace Owens about doing journalism, which is
No, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it. We'll watch what he's doing. But I'd also go that you side with Candace, so anybody questioning what she's saying, you're going to assume that... and by the way, she's not just asking a question. She has a tip line where people who say that they met the brother of one of the guys from Turning Points USA at a diner near a military base in Arizona the day before he was killed.
what
Right.
Piers Morgan, I don't think, has ever done. And he's
Well, that's not fair. Pierce Morgan is the scumbag that was, I think, he was the editor at one of the newspapers that released. They found that dead girl's phone after the bombing in the subway in London, and they sent text messages to her parents from the phone. Yes, and that's right, Janelle. Is it? Yes, Janelle. Okay, good. Janelle Spinoza. Okay, so I'll run together. I don't want to mispronounce some of the names, but yeah, he's wearing his jacket again because Candace is on the show. Anytime he sees Candace, he puts
really
his jacket on.
garbage. I really
He's crushing on Candace.
can't get over this. He's wrong about everything. He was wrong about Russiagate. He was wrong about COVID, 100%. He was wrong about the Ukraine war, 1,000%. And now he's wrong about
Well, nobody's 1,000% wrong because it's percent per 100. There can only be 100 of 100.
Charlie Kirk's assassination. And so for some reason, Candace Owens continues to go on his show. I don't know what that reason is.
Ratings, because she'll show up at the opening of an envelope the same reason you would if he asked you.
But let's watch.
Why? What is your theory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
what's
know.
your theory then? You must have an idea.
My theory
what they...
is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
But are you suggesting that? Are you suggesting
why is everybody
Egypt?
Why are we pretending that we don't know why we ask questions? Like why? Like you're a journalist.
But you
know
have a
what this
theory.
is. You're like, what's going on? What's
What's
going
your
on? Why do you
theory?
want to know why these planes were tracking Charlie? Well, my theory is that we are being sold absolute Fed slop. The media is doing their Operation Mockingbird Part 2 scenario by telling us, well, unless you absolutely have a conclusion, you can't even ask the question. Yes, we very well
But it
damn
may
can.
be,
Keep
Candace.
asking consistent questions until we get a clarified explanation for what happened on that day. And right now, we have nothing, okay? And that is the reason why people are watching my show.
Well, here's real quick. Okay, the part that sparked this obviously was the Egyptian planes that were allegedly following Erica Kirk or following Charlie Kirk, or Erica Kirk was flying on behind Charlie Kirk or some shit like that. But there was a plane that went after it, and she was off by the time zone by the plane arriving and leaving 2 hours later. And secondly, I think the biggest question you should ask right away, if this is an issue for you, is how many planes from Egypt enter American airspace and fly around in general all the time? And then, how many of those are tied to political action committees or other places where funding is going? Because what you might find is that this isn't about a murder, or this isn't about, like a government plan or something like that, as much as it's about Egypt paying people to lobby on their behalf. And the way they do that is by, giving free plane rides and money and gold bars in the case of Menendez to people that they think can either sway the message, lobby the message in their direction, or actually pass bills to help them. But one of the things is, if there's a plane from Egypt that's flying behind them at these two locations at some point, the question is, how often has that plane ever flown to that location without them ever before? That you'd look that up first, right? Oh, Candy Anderson, thank you so much. Right? Does that not? Wouldn't you ask that question right away? It's a thought.
I'm the only one not treating them like they're absolute idiots who don't have two eyes and who believe in magic bully theory and who understand that Egyptian planes should not have been tracking Charlie even 3 times this year would be an anomaly, okay? They've been tracking him. We don't know where it's going.
Also, tracking him, he was on tour. The dates were published. This is like the Google thing. Like, they Googled Tyler Robinson the day before. Like, what is your theory that they picked the assassin out of the fucking phone book the night before?
But we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear.
Pierce, why not just do the show by yourself? Why do you bring her on if you don't want her to actually give information to your audience?
Because he's challenging where she's getting her information from, or the purpose of just continuing to ask nonsensical questions. You can chase down every detail, but if the details aren't pertinent to the actual circumstance and you're elevating them, you know, it's like if you were asking repeatedly, like, how many times was the grass mowed on the grassy knoll? You know, is it odd that there was a crew there mowing the day before, and they did not cut back the bushes? Now, I've never checked to see if they've ever cut back the bushes before, but it seems a little strange that you've got these gardeners all around the grassy knoll, but the hedges, they didn't touch them. They didn't cut them any lower. They didn't prune them back. They just left them alone. All they did was mow the grass. That doesn't seem weird to you? And you're like, well, I don't know why that would matter. Well, if you had gunmen hiding in there, then, and obviously the gardeners were working with them. Maybe if we get a list of who the gardeners were, then they made the gunmen cut their own grass to make sure that their nest wasn't shown. See what I mean? Like, you can chase down any detail about any of these things just to further the idea that there must be a conspiracy. And you're never responsible for if it's a dead end or it goes nowhere. It's, yeah, exactly. I beg your pardon. I did forget that part of it. Sorry. Maybe they had to cut their own grass. How about that? Huh? What do you think about that? Maybe the guys from the grassy knoll, you know, are part-time gardeners. I mean, think about what the plumbers did with Nixon. Were any of those guys actual plumbers? How come we never found that out? How come we never checked everybody with a monkey wrench in the air? How come there was an inordinate number of monkey wrenches in the hotel across from the DNC headquarters? Why has nobody ever... Right, you can chase down any detail you want and make it look like, you know, someone's hiding something if that's your goal. So the reason he's asking, and I don't like Piers Morgan, he's a dickhead, but the reason why you go like, what's your theory, has to be like, why does this detail matter at all? Even if they were following him around, maybe they were kissing his ass. Maybe they were flying staff members around and trying to suck up to him. Maybe they were expecting him to be president in a few years, and they wanted a piece of that. Maybe they wanted him alive. Maybe they were worried that there was a plot against his life, and this was the dude they were backing. Also, since when are the, like, I know this might be because the Egyptians are are the most blockaded, by the way, part of the Gaza Strip. Let's be clear about that. There are two countries that block Gaza, right? And Israel is the only one where people are allowed to go back and forth for work. Egypt, you're not allowed. That's completely shut down. I mean, it's obviously where the Muslim Brotherhood has a bunch of fucking tunnels and all that kind of shit. They do it in secret, but you're not allowed to, you know, you're allowed to drop stuff off, but nobody's allowed out. So the Egyptians must be, they're even worse against the Palestinians than the Israelis are, technically, in this situation.
That is so effing annoying.
Yeah, that's because you don't do interviews. No one's allowed to push back. That's how it should go. And you should welcome it. When you go on a show and so, this is like when Trump bitches about newspaper reporters and calling them piggy and saying that they're fake news and all this stuff. Asshole, if your story is any good and you've got the facts on your side and you're the great communicator, you pretend, you tell everybody you are, then why can't you answer the questions? Why you got to be a bitch about it? Why you got to be such a weasel? Answer the fucking question. dunk on him. If you're that smart and you've got it together, then enjoy the pushback. It makes you look better if you're right. The only reason Jimmy whines about it is because Jimmy can't take pushback. I mean, his whole show is a circle jerk.
Why not let her speak and then you speak after her? Why do you have to constantly try to talk over her? I know why.
Because you don't probably have a crush on her, and you wore the same jacket I did, and we had a phone call, and we both read that thing that she loves blue jackets, and you wore a blue jacket, I wore a blue jacket, and now what?
Because you're bad. You're a bad journalist. You're garbage. That's why.
You tell him, Jimmy.
Candace, it may be that the person in the media spewing bullshit to the public is you.
No, nice try. It's not. It's
Could
you
be.
by saying, why are you asking questions? Don't you worry about Mikey's feelings? Everyone knows what this is. And like I said, because we have the example, the concrete example of
No, I mean, you should be, like, even that question. The person that's full of shit could be you. You could, I know, that's why, I hope people test what I'm saying. No, I'm not full of shit. Just go, you're welcome to think I am. Please check out what I'm saying. When I'm wrong, I will admit it, but everything I'm right about, I will continue to push for. Like, these are really these are bunts. He's pushing back on this shit, but not in an untoward or, like, painful way.
After JFK's assassination, the media members quite literally being put on the payroll of the CIA. We have a historical example that we can look at and go, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, the papers have all come out. Like, there was no big ta-da. Like, I know everybody wanted to believe this giant conspiracy, but like all the stuff that's come out, you're like, man, no, it's pretty much was a lone gunman. Actually, that's how it played out. Sorry, it was way more exciting before we had all the information.
No matter how many times you keep telling the public that I'm spewing bullshit, it is only because there has not.
Oh, by the way, he didn't say you were spewing bullshit. He said maybe you're the one that's spewing bullshit. If there's people spewing bullshit, it's a possibility it could be you. Therefore, room to defend your position, not get defensive.
Been anything that has come out of this investigation that makes any sense that the public is not listening to. I am sorry to say this, Piers, people like you. And what I love about you and I sitting down is at this exact same time last year, you were doing the same weird questioning and making all these things when I said that they were committing a Holocaust against the Gazans, and then you changed your mind.
Actually,
Piers,
this time,
I'll see you next year when you change.
He did change his mind.
Yeah, we covered
100%. He was 100% wrong when she's exactly right. I wish I had that clip in the ready. I have that clip because we covered it.
You read your mind first, okay, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular, and then you change your mind.
He always does that. It's like, so when he finally switched on Gaza and was willing to tell the truth about it, I'm like, oh, so now it's profitable for Piers Morgan to tell the truth about Gaza. Before...
No, last year, Biden and Harris were putting more controls on Israel. They wanted more, obviously, but once Trump got in, all those went away. They completely took the reins off of Bibi Netanyahu. They didn't hold him back at all, and because of that, the killings ramped up.
Wasn't.
Also, by the way, I'd like to point out that all three of these assholes have never mentioned Sudan at all. I mean, maybe Pierce has done a segment on it that I haven't seen, but I haven't seen any of them give a rat fuck about Sudan because it's all black people and no Jews are involved.
How it is.
But Russia is, and so is the UAE, so you don't go there.
Now he will. Or maybe he's just that stupid. But he's on the wrong side of every major issue until it becomes untenable for him to be on the wrong side, and then he comes around to the right side. Now, I don't know if he ever came around to the right side on Russiagate. He finally did with COVID.
Anybody who calls it Russiagate is selling something.
A little bit. The Ukraine war, a little bit. And now he's back. But he's wrong, demonstrably wrong.
Also, by the way, this guy telling Piers Morgan that he's wrong on Ukraine, when Jimmy has had on Scott Ritter, a twice convicted pedophile, to defend Russia and their war of choice against Ukraine. They chose to invade. There were no plans from Europe and NATO to attack Russia at any point, expansion or no expansion. Again, 1997 Russia-NATO founding agreement. Go read it. Russia signed off on anybody wants to join NATO. We don't give a shit. We don't expect war, and nor should we expect it, nor should we care. And like, you know, whatever. Finland has a bigger border with Russia than Ukraine does, but all of a sudden it's okay for them to join NATO, but Ukraine does it, and that's an existential threat to the fucking country. Get the shit out of here.
On all these things.
Ritter's not just a fraud. Ritter is guilty of at least attempted child sexual assault that we know of, because he got busted twice trying to fuck underage girls. Yet another reason why I'm sure he loves taking trips to Russia.
And he's demonstrably wrong about this. He's sitting here shaming someone for doing actual journalism.
She's not doing actual journalism. She's hyping conspiracy theories and mixing it with facts and unknowables. She's using unfalsifiables as evidence.
Nothing in this story makes sense.
Sure it does.
Nothing. And of course, that's why he has to try to talk.
Also, by the way, I don't care that they're chasing this part down. They can think this all they want. Knock yourself out. You're only eating your own. This is ridiculous. And it proves that you guys can't actually govern or work shit out. The idea that the reason why we're as divided as a nation as we are is because these are the kind of people that think they are indicative of the electorate, and they can't get it together.
Over her.
So anyways, you're a dumbass. All right, I'm going to let him go because I've held you guys over, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for your patience and your viewing tonight, and you're great, and it's fantastic, and you're wonderful, and like and subscribe, and give a thumbs up, and please subscribe, and just subscribe, will you? Let's get over that 100,000 number. We can do it. We're going to. And we're going to raid our dear friend Tara Devlin. Yes, after this CSL, can we do that? Appreciate it. And I'm going to bug out right now and I guess start feeding Epstein stuff into the... that's an awesome GIF. I'm going to feed the Epstein stuff into a large language model and sift through it. Yo sono numsi. All right, and I'll play the Golden, and then I'll watch the Golden Child afterwards because I'll need a break. By the way, yes, the opening song to the Golden Child is my theme song. You'll understand why and Summer will tell you it's my alarm in the morning. Just letting you know. Go look it up. I'm sure CSL knows. All right. I wish I could play it on here, but there's all sorts of rules about that. Okay, I'm out. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And I will see you tomorrow for a House Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide. Excellent. Merry Christmas.
Uncle Joe is drunk by 5, and Marie can't let it slide. She brings up the will again. Christmas with these assholes again.